Ito namang tail end of cold front ay patuloy pa rin itong nakakaapekto sa extreme northern Luzon.
So ito po ang baging Ulysses bago maglandfall. Nakahiwalay po siya dun sa ating frontal system o weather front.
Winds are going to start to change direction as a cold front moves in overnight tonight.
Every time we see weather updates, we usually hear cold front and warm front. And we've also seen the symbols when we watch weather forecasts, right? So what exactly are those? So in this video, we will going to learn about weather fronts and how does it affect to the weather.
What is a weather front? A weather front is a transition zone between two different air masses at the Earth's surface. Each air mass has a unique temperature and humidity. These two different bodies of air doesn't mix, that's why it creates fronts. Often, there is a turbulence at a front, which is the borderline where two different air masses come together. The turbulence causes clouds and storms. There are four common types of weather fronts: warm front, cold front, stationary front, and occluded front.
A warm front, it is a front in which warm air replaces cooler air at the surface.
A warm front forms when a warm air mass pushes into a cooler air mass. Air behind this front typically warmer and more humid than the air it replaces. These fronts often bring stormy weather as the warm air mass at the surface rises above the cool air mass, making clouds and storms. But these fronts produce a steady light moderate precipitation instead of violent thunderstorm.
On a weather map, you will see a solid red line with red filled in semicircles along. You will know that it's a warm front by its color because red means hot. The semicircles indicates the direction that the front is moving. So how about cold front? A cold front is a front in which cold air replaces warm air at the surface.
Cold front forms when a cold air mass pushes into a warmer air mass. A cold air is more dense than warm air. It's heavier and a large mass of air that pushes under the lighter warm air, causing it to rise up into the troposphere. These fronts produces dramatic changes in the weather. As the cold front passes, winds become gusty. There is a sudden drop in temperature and also heavy rain, sometimes with hail, thunder, and lightning. After a cold front moves through your area, you will experience a cooler temperature. The good news is most of the time, you have clear, sunny, and beautiful blue skies.
The next type of front is stationary front. A stationary front is the boundary between hot and cold air masses that aren't moving. That's why it's called stationary.
This happens when two masses of air are pushing against each other, but neither is powerful enough to move the other. Winds blowing parallel to the front instead of perpendicular.
For the last type of front is occluded front. This occurs when a cold front overtakes a warm front.
When a low pressure system develops, it usually have fronts around them, a warm front and cold front trailing behind. And because of cold fronts are much faster, it overtakes the warm fronts that results to occluded front. If this happens, we are to expect a lot of precipitation because there are two different air masses that comes together, pushes moisture above that forms heavier clouds and produces a lot of rain.
So that's for today's video. We already understand what is a weather front and the type of fronts, which includes warm front, cold front, stationary front, and occluded front. I hope you've learned something. Thank you.